Hi everyone, Simon from Horoma Studio for the last teardown of 2020 before Christmas and all the festivities. As you can see, this is an image that will perfectly suit the winter we have lately, or at least in France and Spain. So let's get started. So the image, as you can see, simple, efficient. There's a lot to cover, not because, there's a lot of interesting point to cover, so I'm going to try to take a little bit of time to be thorough. So the composition itself is pretty straightforward. We have like a simple frontal view of a hotel that works really well with like a nice foreground element, middle ground with a nice swimming pool, and then the facade of the hotel with a interesting rooftop. One thing I think that could be removed without hurting too much is the little bird here, because when you have like a single element perfectly centered in the image with high contrast, how's it called, area of contrast, it catches the eye a little bit too much. And it's fun because since you have like a really high density thing and then you sort of like flip between these two, so it's, I don't know, I don't think it's necessary. Regarding the organization of the plane, I think it's nice to have like this one here, a little something here. The pool looks really cool. I mean, the texture and the bump mapping, lighting, etc. looks really nice. So all this area for me, like the bottom area here, works, I want to say, perfectly. So that's nice. There's one thing, I think when you look at the image, I'm not sure. I think basically there's an issue of balance between these two areas, because this is at the same time super bright and super dark, and this looks a little bit underexposed, even though you can tell from the shadows here that we have like a low sun scenario. Still, I think the main issue with the image is the contrast we get within these two areas. There's two ways for me, at least, to fix this. The first one, three ways actually. First way would be to reorientate your sun a little and make it actually penetrate the space a little more, because here you can see that actually it's weird because you can see here that it is going in, but like the intensity is so small that you don't really sense it. And here we have like a weird discrepancy of hue happening. The other option would be to actually just change the reflection pass and make it way brighter. Because the thing is that if we have like a sky like this, it should reflect the sky way more. Whereas at the moment, this is super dark. So we could have like reflection being way brighter. Or the third option, I think, is to play with the refraction pass. Handwriting is terrible. With the refraction pass, and to sort of like bring this brighter so that it's not as bright as the lit area, but it's still brighter so that the contrast is not that big. Because at the moment, it's like dark and desaturated. This is another thing I think that is a bit misleading with the lighting, is that we have this super warm, cool, by cool I mean like nice looking light, natural light. But once it hits this building, which is kind of like sand color or a little bit white, suddenly everything becomes desaturated. So there's something a bit wrong. You would expect it to be warmer, way warmer. So that's the thing. So I think once you like, what's the word, balance the dark and the light areas, you're going to have something that looks better. And the good thing is that once this is brighter, it will be better, or not better, but will easier to adjust the brightness of your sky, because at the moment it is hard to find a balance with it. But once this gets a little bit more homogenized, this will be easier to fix, and I'm pretty sure this will have to be a bit brighter. One thing also in terms of details that I think is necessary to adjust is the little plants here. You can see that they are super dark. So one way to fix it is usually to, well, either change the material, but if you can't, usually you can use the specular map and brighten them, or the refraction map, depending on how you've, like what type of material exactly you've used. But usually with the specular map, you can bring back like a lot of light inside the inside plants or foliage, which is quite nice. One thing again, in the same way that this dark dude on the bright sky, this dark dude on the bright sky is really eye-catching as well. So I would either put them on a less brighter sky or really make them brighter on a less brighter background, sorry. Then I think most of the hard work is done with this. It's actually small changes, but it's, in terms of balance, it's going to change quite a lot. I was also thinking maybe it would be fun to have like people. It's fun because lately I'm suggesting a lot to add people in images, whereas I know this is something that usually you would try to avoid. But still, I think there's a good opportunity here for several reasons. The first one would be to have like a little sense of scale, because it's always important, even though we can understand this is a TV, this is a plant, this is like a balustrade, so it's like 90 centimeters, etc. This is okay. Still, in terms also of liveliness, since it's a hotel, you don't want it to be completely empty. Even if it's like more architectural photography rather than like property developers photography or like even advertising, you do want to have like a couple of people somewhere. It could be fun actually. I was thinking to have like maybe a couple of people on the lounge chair and maybe someone entering the pool with like nice waves, etc. Something super minimalist, but that would bring a little bit more life. And also it could be fun because with like the, how's it called, swimsuits and stuff like that, you can have like slightly brighter colors and more colorful stuff that would sort of complement the mostly earthy tones that we have in the image right now, which is a good thing, I think. Besides that, it's a really, really cool image. There's a lot of details that I really like and find pretty cool. So I don't think there's much more to say. So yeah, I'll stop there then. I hope you'll find the video interesting and that you'll find the topic of like lighting and facade animation basically interesting. One thing I didn't mention before I leave is that depends on the design, but well, usually in how's it called? In hotels, you'll have like types of curtains to get like a bit of privacy, especially from this space. So in the same way that you have like an interesting first plane with like the balustrade and the plants, it would be interesting to then have curtains. The good thing with curtains is that you're gonna get like different types of windows. You're gonna have like windows that is completely open but a bit darker inside because it's not lit. You're gonna have windows with like lights inside. You're gonna have windows with little curtains that is hit by the sun, which means you're going to have like a bright part and a darker part. And you can have like windows with like the curtains everywhere so that they're like lit by the sun. So you're going to have like 4 types of windows instead of just a single one. And by having like more homogenized lighting, let's say, or like balance more than homogenized, this is going to look way different and more interesting and balanced, I think. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and I'll see you next year for a new type of teardown, hopefully. Cheers guys, see ya.